everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the One of Us podcast. Today, we're going to have a fun little episode. I'm going to be hosting it, so watch out, everyone. But today's episode is going to be a little quiz of my fellow co-hosts. It's going to be Bible verse or pop culture. So I'm going to say a bunch of phrases and you have to tell me if what I'm saying is actually a Bible verse, like directly quoted, or if it's something that people just say. Is it in a song? Is it some other thing? So, quick magic trick real quick. Let there be light. Wow, look at that. Totally not edited. Anywho, so without further ado, we'll begin. We'll begin kind of like chill. Let's feel it out. Okay. The first one is good things come to those who wait. Also, you're not allowed to utilize your phones or any devices right now. This is on the honor system.
I say ladies first.
I say pop culture.
I feel like patience is a virtue, but I guess that's also a pop culture. I'm gonna just go with pop culture.
Yeah.
Are we talking? Okay, I guess a good question is: are we talking about principles or like verbatim?
I'm talking about, is that in the Bible? Is that statement in the Bible?
So
Anyway,
Can you say it
from the
again?
Bible.
Say it again one more time.
Okay, so some of these are translated in different translations. So some of them may seem more colloquial than others, but that's not really an indication of anything. Good things come to those who wait.
I still think it's pop culture.
I'm gonna say pop
I think
culture.
pop culture.
Okay, we'll have to keep a tally on the screen. So, okay, good job. You got it. That's not in the Bible. The premise is good. There's inspiration from the Bible, but it's not in the Bible. The next one is, let everything that has breath praise the Lord.
I'm gonna say Bible.
Bible.
That is Bible.
Dang it. I thought I was gonna get you guys because it's a song. Also.
Well, I feel like most worship songs derive their lyrics from either Psalms or just like Bible verses. So I guess it could be a little tricky.
Yeah, you're right. That is from Psalm 156. This one's for Victoria. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Pop culture.
Pop culture.
Well, why do you guys think you know how you always hear people say like, oh, this is a spiritual proverb or like a good saying? Why do you think people are so interested in that, like good sayings, like advice that is kind of really compact and for the moment?
I think it's just like a little bit of reminders to kind of keep yourself remembering like what the Bible says, you know? And I think like especially for people who aren't Christians, it's easy for people who are Christians to kind of be like, hey, there's this principle, you briefly just say it, and if they relate to it, then like you kind of gave them, you know, planting the seeds.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was I think in today's age, especially the newer generation, since you know they get all their information so fast, I think they really relate with these short chunks of wisdom. So I think Psalms and Proverbs are really good for this generation now.
Next one. Don't stop believing.
Don't
That's a song.
stop.
I was gonna say it reminds me of a
believing.
song.
Yeah, pop culture.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm pretty sure it's pop culture.
In fact, it is. Okay. The next
Wow,
one
guys, we're
is-
like 4 for 4. I'm really proud of us.
The next one is, with God, all things are possible.
Bible verse.
Bible.
Bible.
Crystal, is this like first
Matthew
grade?
19:26.
One.
Oh,
You never know.
sheesh. Matthew 19:26.
Oh, good job.
With man, this is impossible. With God, all things are possible.
Good job. The next one is, this too shall pass.
Bible.
Oof,
Bible.
that's hard, but I'd say Bible.
No. Got him.
I feel like that's something that the Lord would say.
I'll be
What
honest.
is that from?
That was one
But
party.
it's not a Bible verse. It's just like a
It's
saying.
because you
that
copied
people
me,
say.
Vic.
Maybe it's because I think that the Lord's like people say like the word of God is everlasting.
A lot of these, even if they're not in the Bible, you can be tied to like biblical principles for sure. Like not a quote in the Bible. There you go, guys.
Well,
Okay.
who quoted that then?
That I don't know. I'll find this out and refer back.
So you did not come prepared.
That's a worldly proverb that has no author.
It's just unknown author, Vic. That's what we're gonna say.
I
right
don't
now.
know if that's an unknown author. I thought you were going to do your research before you came in here with all these questions.
Okay.
So
you ready
it's
for
a
the
little-
next one?
It's a little sus.
God won't give you more than what you can handle.
Pop culture.
I feel like this is
Culture.
a trick question because it's kind of deriving out of, I think it's First Peter, where it says that God has given you everything to live a holy life. So can you say it again? Because that's where I'm getting confused right now.
God won't give you more than what you can handle.
I'm gonna say
Culture.
that's culture,
Good job.
but I feel like people derive that from, I think, the first epistle of Peter. Because I'm pretty sure it's that I'm when I say I'm pretty sure, what I'm trying to say is I can't remember if it's First or Second Peter, but what I do remember is that it talks a lot about how God has given you everything you need to live a life according to His will. So I've heard a lot of sermons kind of say what you're saying, Crystal, kind of like God doesn't give you more than you can't handle, or that He's not going to tempt you more than you can't resist, like stuff like that.
I think the statement itself is very false. Like, I actually don't agree with it. I do think exactly what you said, Juan, that God gives us the tools and skills to be able to remove ourselves from temptation, to overcome trials, to trust in Him. But there are a lot of times that, actually, most times when we face trials and tribulations, it's more than we can handle for the very purpose that we are to rely on the Lord. So, but
I
it
agree.
is something that's super commonly said.
Like, it kind of makes the comparison like us with gold. Like, in order to actually find the gold, you have to refine it, and you do that by, I think they said the process is you have to burn it and then wash it, and then you have to burn it again. Like, you have to go through the process like over and over. And so it's like, it's hard, but maybe one person can realistically, take on one trial or take on one hardship, and maybe that could be considered more than what they can handle. But in order to find the gold and to find that character and that value, you have to kind of go through those trials to really test your character of who you're going to be and where your identity is going to lie at the end of the day.
Okay, the next one is an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Bible.
Pop culture.
Look, it's
Vic
Bible.
is the tiebreaker.
Okay, go ahead, Vic.
I'm going to say culture. Juan, you seem really confident because you said
Because it's
it right
Old Testament.
away.
It's Old Testament, right? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and then like a calf for a calf or something like that.
Crystal, reveal the answer.
I'll take the L, but I don't know if I trust it.
Okay, so you guys are going with pop culture. The answer is, that's in the Bible. Juan was right. It's Exodus 21:24. But that was a tricky one because I know people say that all the time.
Well, also, Jesus spoke about it, I think, on the Sermon on the Mount, because he was saying, like, you've heard eye for an eye, but I tell you to love your enemies and, like, pray for those who persecute you. So he's kind of referring to, like, this is how culture was back in the day, but I'm, like, breaking culture.
The next one is everything happens for a reason.
Straight culture.
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 You guys are right. It is culture. But people say that all the time. Everything happens for a reason. And obviously there's biblical roots there, right? To even, I'm thinking of like Romans 8:28, right? All things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to His purpose. But that exact phrase is not in the Bible. The next one is I am who you say I am.
Bible.
Bible.
I'm going to say culture.
This one is culture. It's a Hillsong.
Like, I like your face right now.
It's a Hillsong lyric, but it's not like a direct quote from the Bible.
I mean,
but
it's a...
But it's true.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
true. It's true.
It's accurate. It's true. It comes from a place of truth. And it's inspired by 1 John 3:1, but it's not like a quotation from there. The next one is, if God is for us, who can be against us?
I'm not answering
Bible.
first. All right, cool.
Vic,
Bible.
you got to answer. It's Bible. Vic, you're copying my answer.
Bible. Vic has to go first now.
Hey,
'cause
I
it's clear
struggle under
she's copying
pressure,
people's
okay? I was never
She's
good at
copying
taking
everyone's
tests.
answers.
Vic, were you that person where, like, when the teacher was calling on people, you were, like, mortified that they would call on you to answer?
Absolutely.
Do you do that as a teacher now, though?
Well, it's kind of hard with 2-year-olds.
So, like, if the teacher was like, I'm going to call someone from your group to present, and your group said that you're presenting, would that just automatically fill your soul with fear?
Yeah, I hated presenting in high school. If they're like, your group is going up and one of you has to be the leader, people for whatever reason thought I was the smartest one in the group. Boy, did they get finessed. And they would try and make me the leader, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not it.
Something that would happen to me in school is there were a couple like Christophers or Christianas, and names like that. And so whenever I'd hear Chris, I'd literally be like, have an attack. And then they'd finish the rest of the name and they'd be like, oh, okay.
As long as you don't get that when someone says Christ, because that's also kind of close.
I'm not kidding you. That's happened to me a couple times where I'm like, oh, I'm fine. This isn't about me.
Blasphemous.
Hey, it just sounded so familiar. I'd get stressed. But that quotation, in fact, is in the Bible, Romans 8:31. So good job. If God is for us, who can be against us? The next one is let your light shine.
Vic,
Bible.
let your light shine. That's
Because I'm thinking of the.
This is hard because in the Bible it
thinking of
does say
the-
be the light and the salt of the earth.
That's the one.
I
Or
think-
let your light shine, like be a
Shine
light,
bright
like a city.
diamond.
Yeah, a city on a hill. So that's the verse I'm thinking of that maybe. So I'm gonna say Bible.
I'm gonna say culture because it doesn't sound like God says.
Okay,
shine
I
your
want to
light.
change my answer.
No, Vic, you said Bible.
I was gonna say culture.
Well, who was right?
Victoria was actually right. It's in the Bible. It's it's Matthew 5:16.
Yeah, take it.
I think it goes on to say, let your light shine before others, yada yada.
Yeah, don't be a follower, be a leader.
I was right on that last one.
Bible or culture?
Bible or culture, don't be a follower, be a leader. That's funny, Matati. Honestly, what I would say is I am a follower because I follow Christ.
The next one is I'm a friend of God.
Are you still making me go first?
Yeah.
Culture?
I'm gonna say culture too. I don't know where I am a friend of God. I've heard I am of God, but you're saying
I'm gonna say-
specifically
I mean,
am a
I
friend.
do know that
Culture.
song. I am a friend of God. He calls me friend. That one. So I'm
Dang.
gonna say culture.
Elevation Music. If you're out there, that was Victoria's audition.
Hey, that's not a real one. I wasn't trying. Okay, hold on. Let me send a good one.
It is. It's a song. It's a song by, I think his name is Israel Houghton or something, friend of God. But
Oh, I know
also
who
I
you're
think
talking
that
about.
one that you mentioned, Vic. The next one is God helps those who help themselves.
Culture.
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 That's some like Hispanic
Yes.
old woman like proverb.
It's not a proverb. So this one I thought was interesting because you hear people say this all the time within the faith sphere and out of the faith sphere, but it's just so inaccurate. The Bible emphasizes just trusting in God and for strength and help, like not on self-reliance. So the whole idea of like that is like kind of backwards.
I think they're trying to explain how if you want change to happen in your life, you need to take the initiative. But maybe they're trying to Christianese it a little bit.
In our relationship with God and in our faith, like there are actionable things we need to do.
Wait, I have a next one. I want to see if you guys know this one. It's called "We Were Made to Be Courageous."
That's a song, pop culture.
Culture.
We're made to be courageous. Isn't that from the Courageous movie?
Cultura.
It's actually
Okay.
in the Bible. I'm just
Search
kidding.
it up.
It's culture.
Pull up the receipt.
It's culture. It's culture.
Lying.
It's culture.
Lying's a sin, Juan.
Okay.
I know. I
The
repent.
next one is where there is no vision, the people perish.
Bible.
That's a hard one. I want to say culture.
Where there is no vision, the people perish. I want to say that one's culture.
Vic stressed. So Vic, you got it right again.
Ah, dang it.
Proverbs 29:18.
People. No one says perish nowadays.
Yeah, they do. Have you not seen? I've seen people say like, if you let a language perish, so does the culture.
No one talks like that. Juan, you showed me what the language is nowadays, and it is not that.
Okay, the next one is do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Bible. That one's so easy.
Bible.
Well, where is it in the Bible then?
Matthew. I think it's Matthew 8 or Matthew 10. What is it?
Matthew 7:12.
Oh,
Close.
shoot. That was close.
Okay, the next one is the best is yet to come.
Culture.
I'm gonna say Bible.
I'm going to say culture because Vic got that wrong.
Dun, 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 dun! Vic, you didn't do well this time. This is but good try. Hey, you got to be confident in your
I was
choices.
just thinking that maybe there'd be a verse where it's saying the best is yet to come, being Jesus coming back. So
Why does that make me think of High School Musical?
The next one is let it be.
Frozen.
It's not
Or the
lyrics I've
Beatles.
chosen.
Let it be is like such a short phrase. You got to have it longer because you could A different translation could have "let it be" in the Bible.
I'm gonna say, I'll say Bible.
That's a culture.
Wait, I'm joking.
Good job, Tati and Juan. It's a Beatles
Fooling
song,
Vic.
Victoria Sue Ming.
I literally said
I
that.
don't know. I took a shot. You know, I don't
You
want to.
did.
I don't want to
I'm-
follow the crowd. Okay.
You know, I'm proud with you. Sometimes you do need to follow the crowd. I'm just kidding. Okay. The next one is follow your heart.
The heart
Culture.
is deceitful. It's
Good job.
culture.
I knew that one was going to be easy.
That one's pretty
but
easy.
I just wanted Vic to have her moment.
Never follow your heart. That thing is wicked and it's nasty.
Wicked for good.
And the last one is happiness is a choice.
That's straight culture.
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 Just kidding, it is. But it's inspired
pretty
by
sure I did the
Galatians
worst.
5:2. And actually, that's not the last one. This is the last one. The truth will set you free.
Bible.
Bible.
It's know the truth and it'll set you free.
Whatever I'm saying is the quote.
Boom. Get roasted.
The truth will set you free. And that is in the Bible. John 8:32. Round of applause. Good job, guys. You did pretty good.
Who did the best?
Stumped you on some of them. Whoever did the best is on the screen here. They will be highlighted. They are the winner. I think it's Juan.
I
but
actually
can't
think
be
it's Vic.
certain.
I think it's Vic. I
Guys,
think he got
either-
2 over us.
Guys,
Yeah, because Juan got 2 wrong that Vic got right.
look, Juan cannot win again, guys. Okay, I'm gonna share something real quick. Juan
Nobody mourns
wins.
the wicked.
Juan wins all the freaking time. I hate playing games with them.
I lose. I'm a loser. I lost my soul to the Lord.
Juan, after that one game of Catan we played like years ago, I'm never going back.
Ooh, Catan sounds
Listen,
really fun.
Vic, the first will be last and the last will be first.
Amen. Anyways, if you guys really enjoyed this trivia, please let us know down in the comments. Definitely
And we'll
want to
do it
do
again.
another. Yeah, definitely want to do it again. Do another, maybe more structured with kind of like a trivia pursuit. Kind of play 4v4 so Crystal can kind of be in the mix, see if she's better than any of us here. But beyond that, I think it's important to say that when you hear something that's good advice, it's always good to make sure that if it's actually biblical advice or if it's just worldly advice. So maybe when you hear something that's actually good, try to do your due diligence and find out where it's actually coming from. And if it's from the Bible, have that 20/20 vision, read 20 verses before and after to get the full context. But that kind of wraps up today's episode. We're going to move on to our favorite topic here at the One of Us podcast, hot take time with Tati.
I was actually having a conversation with my cousin about this today when we got back from the gym because I don't know if you guys have Waymo in Vegas. They're self-driving cars. So do you think that driving will get safer when all cars start self-driving?
If they use LiDAR, yes. If they use like the camera system with Tesla, they still have to work on that, in my opinion. That's my okay. Because let me educate the culture, right? So the populace. So basically, Tesla uses this camera that just uses like camera imaging and AI to figure out driving. But there was this like YouTube video that they posted up recently where they tested that versus a car with LiDAR. And LiDAR is like little rays that shoot out the car. And it showed that the Tesla, if it's like super foggy or like rainy, that since it uses a camera system, it doesn't stop suddenly if something like comes in the way of the road versus LiDAR that does. So my question is, and I feel like everyone's just kind of fed up because I never give a concrete answer. I always give like a contextual answer. So my answer is if all cars use LiDAR, yes. If all cars don't, then no.
I just researched it. Tesla is already partnering to do LiDAR in the cars. So I would assume
Swag.
yes.
I feel like I would need to see the data because people get into car accidents all the time. So one of these self-driving cars getting into a car accident isn't really like surprising because it happens in like our world already. It would just be concerning because then whose fault is it? Like in an accident, like who gets charged?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If no one is driving and it's all self-driving.
Yes, but they'll probably make mistakes too driving. And then at that point, like you hit someone, say you kill them in the self-driving car. Who's at fault for
I'm
that?
pretty sure the company will be at fault. But
That's a lot
I will
of
say
like,
I did research, and the cars that I was looking at that's all over LA, they have very few car accidents. I feel like car accidents happen because people disobey the law and humans make error. And if all the cars are kind of programmed the same way, I feel like the chances decrease.
I don't know if you want me to answer.
just
Do it.
answer it.
Tati, haven't you been in like 4 car accidents?
I wasn't the one that was driving most of those. And all of them were because other people hit me for breaking the law. So,
Vic, but what do you think about self-driving cars?
I think they're dumb. I think they're stupid. I don't think they're very reliable. I'm not for it.
Wow.
So, sorry. Yeah, just drive your car, people.
I don't know if I would like sleep. Like, you know how some people just like take a nap while their car is driving? That would like be weird to me. I mean, I guess we do that on planes, but there's someone there like watching the automated system.
okay. The next one is butter should be kept in the fridge.
Do people
Yeah.
not keep their butter in the fridge?
Well, some
Yeah,
people
put
keep
it
it.
in the countertop, so then when you need
How
it,
does it
at
not
hand-
melt?
It's
I
just
think
like
it's
super
soft.
soft.
Yeah, it's just
It's not
soft.
melted. It's soft.
But I don't like that because, like, I guess you can keep it covered, but it's kind of nasty because it gets like on the outside of the plate, and then like crumbs start to accumulate, and then little gnats can like fly on it and they get stuck. I just think it's gross. Put it in the fridge.
Put it in the fridge.
Doesn't butter have dairy in it though? Like milk?
I think
How
it's
I think
fat.
keeping
butter
that out?
butter takes it's just the fat. So butter, that's why you churn, because you're taking the fat out of the milk.
Alrighty, well, guess what, guys? Unfortunately, we have reached the end, but we will always come back with more. And maybe next week, because we did do a little trivia, maybe next week we'll do a full Bible trivia. So let's see, we'll put something in the works. But if there are any questions that you guys have that you want to quiz us on, put them in the comments below so we can add them to next week's episode. But anyway, we love you guys. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.